So, why am I here? You guys saw the title, you guys know what I'm about to do, but before I hop into all that exciting stuff, I want to talk about why I'm switching to a new camera. This is my old camera. This is the Canon G7X Mark II. I've been using this for almost 3 years up until it died on me, so I was very sad, so I sent this to the camera shop that I bought it in. So the engineer told me that the amount I have to pay to repair this camera is almost equal to the amount that I can buy a brand new Canon G7X Mark II in the market. So I decided, nope, that's so not worth it. Why not just invest in a new camera? So this is the Canon G7X Mark II, a vlogger's dream. And recently Canon just released the Canon G7X Mark III, a vlogger's dream? Not really. I saw a lot of footages online and it just showed that the Canon G7X Mark II struggles to focus when they film like videos. Filming vlogs on the go, autofocus is like the most important thing for me, because when I see an unfocused footage, it really pisses me off. I just can't stand it. So I basically crossed out Canon G7X Mark III on my list. There really aren't many point-and-shoot cameras on the market that suits my needs, so I turned to mirrorless cameras. And I've always loved Sony cameras. The Sony a6400 just got released earlier this year, and then there's also this Canon M50 that's also very popular amongst video creators. So I was debating between these two cameras. I already filmed with this Canon 70D, so it doesn't really make sense for me to buy a mirrorless Canon camera. And also Sony with the a6400, they solved the overheating issues. There's a flip-up screen, and basically their autofocus is amazing. I still remember holding my friend's Sony a7S something, the DSLRs, in my hand, and the picture quality it creates is just beautiful. So I've been in love with Sony since, but I just never really had a reason to buy a Sony camera until now. So yeah, without further ado, let's start unboxing my new camera. I'm super excited. I bought this camera. It's in my backpack. I bought this camera just earlier this afternoon, but because I had to study, so this is self-control, you know. I was studying downstairs and my camera is just upstairs waiting for me to unbox it, but I controlled myself. So it's now almost midnight. I'm done with studying. I finished showering, so my hair is still a bit wet because I'm so excited to unbox this camera. And yeah, I bought this. I don't know, I haven't bought a new camera in a while and it's just so exciting, and I just feel like this is so going to be worthwhile, be worth the investment. This is the lens cleaning kit that they gave me, and one thing that I'm super lucky is that for this month, for October, for every purchase of the Sony Alpha series, they basically will give us an extra battery and an extra charger, which doesn't come with this camera. That basically saved me a lot of money because, you know, those things aren't the cheapest. The clerk actually already kind of like set up the camera. So I bought the Sony Alpha 6400 with the 16 to 15mm kit lens. They only have this one, not with the 18 to 135, but I figured this one is more compact. I'm happy they had this one instead of like the one with the bigger lens. Maybe in the future I'll invest in a lens with a wider aperture. I'll think about it in the future, but I'm not sure right now. Right now I'm just going to work with this camera with the kit lens and see what it offers and see what else I need. Okay, so So one thing I read online, like while I was researching for this camera, wow. Okay, I'm going to talk later. I'm just going to embrace. So firstly, this is the warranty. And then I'm so new to Sony camera. It's gonna take me a while to like get used to. What are these? These are like the specifications. The fancy things. You could just go online and read it. I don't need to read it to you. Yeah, it's basically in different languages. It's been so long since I bought a new camera. This feels so unreal. A lot of people have been criticizing this camera, but those people are all like professional filmmakers. I'm not a professional filmmaker, so it doesn't really bother me that much since I don't. Okay, let's start with, I bought this is a wrist strap. They actually already helped me attach it to the camera. And this is the neck strap for Sony. I might use it when I film videos, just depends on my mood. This is the battery. A lot of people have also been complaining about the battery life for Sony cameras, but I mean my Canon G7X, like look at this battery. Oh wait, it's not here. The Canon G7X Mark II has also a very small battery, so I know what I'm expecting. And they also gave like this for European charger along with this kit in Taiwan, so I don't know why, but okay, maybe if I go to Europe in the future, I can use it. Woo! Okay, so why do you want to go to Europe? Because Sony gave me this charger, so I have to use it. I actually asked them to remove this thing. You know, this is the thing that goes on the side of the camera. Like when you hold it, you can hear like the annoying clicking sound. I asked them to remove it. And yeah, okay, so this is the charging cable. And this is the charging box thing. And then this is the actual charger. I think I remember like I should attach this to the camera and then to this or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll work this out later. Now the big reveal. I am so happy right now. Okay. I still love you, Canon. I still love you. I need to move on. Okay. Sony. Like, Sony feels so fancy. It's stuck. It's stuck. Okay. Sony, like... Oh my god, I could already feel like the build quality. Okay, let's move this box out of the way. Okay. As you guys can see, the clerk already helped me attach like the wrist strap, so I can basically just click this on, and yeah, it'll work. So this is the camera. I also bought like, yeah, the lens protection thing, so they already helped me put this on. I don't think there's any battery. I'm gonna try, but I don't think there's any battery left. Woohoo! I don't have an SD card. It's downstairs. I forgot to bring them with me. I'm not sure if it's... Can I turn it on? Yeah, the battery is dead. But this is not like a test footage video. This is just me looking at my new... Oh my god, look at this. This looks so fancy. It's sturdy. Oh god. I mean, the menu system is very different. The clerk actually went through the menu with me today, which is very nice of her. I love that camera shop so much. They're super friendly. If you ever come to Taiwan and you want to buy cameras, just hit me up and I can tell you where to go. When I was online researching for new cameras to buy, I did a little research on the Sony, I really need to get used to this, on the Sony a6400. I realized the majority of the review vlogs are all from the YouTubers that were invited to this Sony event in Catalina Island, resulting in me not really knowing what to believe. So I basically started looking at like vlogs of people who are not those famous professional content creators to decide whether this camera is for me. While I was researching, I discovered like advantages and disadvantages, and basically compared to the M50, I decided to go for this camera, and here's why. Okay, so the first downside is that it doesn't have IBIS, which is in-body image stabilization, and I mean, I get why people are complaining, because I think most of the people who are complaining that it doesn't have IBIS are all very professional creators. They want the best out of their cameras. I'm assuming if they add in IBIS, this thing is going to be more expensive and it's going to be way out of my budget and I can't be able to afford it. I'm actually glad that they didn't include it, because I know there's a workaround to solve this problem. Attach a tripod, try to shoot it steadily, and I have steady hands, I think, so I can work on that. I might also invest in a gimbal in the future, so I mean, this is solvable, so it's not really that much of an issue for me. And plus, Sony, even with IBIS, it doesn't look that great, so I mean, with IBIS, no IBIS, there really isn't that much of a difference. Okay, the next thing is that there is a thing here where you can attach microphones, flashes, but the problem that people are complaining about is that when I flip up the screen, the microphone, for example, if I put my microphone here, it's going to block it. Manufacturers are going to release like relocation plates to attach here. And right now I'm not even sure if I'm going to, you know, attach like a microphone with me, because that's going to make this so much bigger and I want a compact vlogging setup. So I'm not sure if I will be using a microphone anyway, so that isn't really an issue for me. Okay, the next downside is that the battery life is very bad. But like I said before, I came from a Canon G7X Mark II as a vlogging camera. The battery is not big at all. Usually under heavy vlogging, like if I vlog all day, I go through 2 batteries. So I'm guessing it will be an issue for me, just get more batteries. And the next thing is like the touch screen is not fully functional. You cannot control like the menu using the touch screen. I mean, we all came from an era using flip phones. There's no touch screens. I'm sure I'll be able to adapt to that. It's just that we're so used to using touch screens. And I know it makes things easier, but that doesn't mean that without touch screens, it's not usable. I know it might take me some time to get used to it, but I will get used to it because this is my camera. I want to use it to its full potential, so I know I will get used to it. So I won't complain about it because I know that like the image quality this camera offers is going to be amazing. And that's what I ultimately want. Next up is the advantages of this camera. I always know that Sony has amazing autofocus. Even the Sony 5100 and the Sony Alpha 5000 has amazing autofocus compared to Canon G7X Mark II. It's just so fast and so reliable. Sometimes if you have to wait until the focus actually focuses, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of kills like the flow of the video and it's really annoying. And the second thing is that they solve the overheating. For someone who films video, and I live in Taiwan, so it's always hot here, you know? And with me primarily shooting videos with cameras and the weather in Taiwan being so hot and humid, I'm guessing any Sony camera will overheat easily. But I know that for this camera, they solved the overheating issue. So that's also why I even considered buying this camera. And the next thing is the picture quality is amazing. Canon is known for softer images. Not that it's bad, but compared to Sony just kind of produces like a slightly sharper image and it's just really soothing to the eye, and I just really like the look of it. And they also kind of like improve the color profile for this camera. It's not really a big thing for me whether they improved it or not because I color grade in post, so it doesn't really matter that much to me. A lot of people choose cameras based on how they look. Color grading is a thing you can do, but autofocus is not something you can fix in post. The size of this camera is relatively compact, so I can like vlog with it and it still won't be as heavy as my 70D. And the grip is actually very nice. I like it. They also have this time-lapse function, which is something I really need because sometimes I just want to film time-lapse videos to show like flowing of time. I don't do it that much right now, but it's good to know that it's there and it's good to know that you can use it when you need it. So yeah, right now I actually have a few other lenses in mind because this is the 16 to 15. It doesn't zoom in that much, so I'm not sure if I'll be needing like an 18 to 105 lens or a lens with like a wider aperture, which is the Sigma 16mm f1.4. Those things are all on my list and I'll maybe invest in one of those in the future. So I'm just very happy that I got this camera. It's kind of like a bittersweet feeling, you know. It's not like you're done with like the Canon G7X Mark II. It's because it's broken and you have to upgrade. But I'm excited because I know that Sony is a bit more advanced. And I'm really excited to learn more about the concept, like the aspects of filmmaking, like shutter speeds and everything to produce a smoother and a more like flattering image. And I know that this camera will help make this video creation, content creating process easier. And I think that's what's most important about a camera. One of my friends from Germany, she's going to visit this November and I'm going to take her to explore like different places in Taiwan. And I already know that I'm going to film everything on this bad boy. And yeah, maybe until then I can form like an actual review of this camera and see how it performs from an amateur's perspective, because I know on YouTube when you're not a professional you want to see a non-professional review because sometimes those reviews speak to you more. So yeah, I'll be using this heavily for sure in November, and maybe I'll upload like a follow-up of this camera. But yeah, this is the end of this video. I bought a new camera. I officially graduated from the Canon G7X Mark II. I love you. Canon G7X Mark II to the Sony a6400. And I can't wait to tell more stories with it. Because after all, the reason why I film videos is because I know there are so many memories that are worth remembering. And I intend on documenting as many memories as I can. If you want a follow-up video in a couple of months, please leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another new video. Until next time, bye!